This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 2057. How Should I Invest a Lump Sum? By Chris Reining of chrisreining.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. Let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. How Should I Invest a Lump Sum? By Chris Reining of chrisreining.com. Today's question comes from Daniel. He asks, I have $50,000 to invest. Should I put all of it in the market at once? If you're like most people, $50,000 is a huge windfall, so you don't want to mess up and lose any of it. In fact, this is something researchers call loss aversion. It means we feel the pain of loss much more than we feel the pleasure of gain. And the studies on loss aversion are fascinating. One of them from Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky demonstrate how we react through a simple coin toss. Kahneman said this is the typical response he gets. Quote, in my classes, I say, I'm going to toss a coin, and if it's tails, you lose $10. How much would you have to gain on winning in order for this gamble to be acceptable for you? People want more than $20 before it's acceptable. And now I've been doing the same thing with executives or very rich people, asking about tossing a coin and losing $10,000 if it's tails, and they want $20,000 before they'll take the gamble, end quote. In other words, we like gains, but we hate losses even more. And that's why when you have a lump sum to invest, I like to use this rule of thumb. Invest at 1 time to 2 times the rate at which you can save money. Here, let me show you an example of this. Pretend you make $48,000 a year, which is $4,000 a month. You spend $3,000, so you're able to save $1,000 a month. If you have a $50,000 lump sum, you'd invest it at a rate of $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Now, $50,000 invested at a rate of $2,000 a month will take 25 months to invest. Yes, 2 years. Why would you have money just sitting on the sidelines when it's ready to go out and start working for you? For a couple of reasons. First, to protect you from yourself. I've seen people invest a lump sum all at once, and then the market crashes, and because we hate losses, they sell everything and swear they'll never invest again. To me, this is unfortunate because investing really is the best way to build wealth. So by easing smaller amounts of money into the market over longer periods of time, it gives new investors more time to get comfortable with investing. Second, you're reducing risk. You see, if you invest a lump sum all at once, you don't know if you're investing at the top of the market or the bottom, and you won't know until weeks, months, even years go by. So by spreading your investment out, you'll build an average. Let me tell you what I mean. Say you're investing $2,000 on the first of each month. Because share prices fluctuate, the number of shares you can buy will be different each time. Month 1, $2,000 at $20 a share is 100 shares. Month 2, $2,000 at $16 a share is 125 shares. Month 3, $2,000 at $25 a share is 80 shares, and so on. Some months your $2,000 buys more shares, some months less. Overall, you buy 535 shares at an average price of $22.43. What if you had invested your lump sum all at once when shares were at their lowest price of $16? This would have been optimal, but of course you can only know this in hindsight. And what if you had invested your lump sum at the highest price of $40? You'd regret it. By investing a static amount each month, you average everything out. By the way, this is called dollar cost averaging. This is what I did when I had a lump sum. I had saved up $20,000 for something. I think it was when I wanted to buy 5 to 10 acres of land out in the country and put up a yurt so I'd have a weekend getaway. Anyways, I had this lump sum and I typed up a simple plan on a Google Doc to invest $1,000 each month until it was 100% invested. You can invest a lump sum all at once. In fact, you might even get slightly better gains, but you also have to be okay in not knowing if the market's going to crash. And if it does, do you really know how you're going to react to it? Most of us don't, and that's why I think you shouldn't invest a lump sum all at once. You just listened to the post titled, How Should I Invest a Lump Sum? By Chris Reining of chrisreining.com. If you enjoyed this article, I highly recommend you go way back and listen to episodes 1771 and 1772. In these two articles, Chelsea Brennan from Smart Money Mamas makes a compelling case for why you should continue to invest even when the market's at its peak. But she also makes some comments on lump sum investing. You'll notice that the key variable between Chris's advice and Chelsea's advice is about time horizon. You won't lose money on lump sum investing, regardless if you invest at a peak or a dip, as long as your time horizon is 10 years or more. Chelsea says, quote, if I had $100 to invest a month, I would invest it every month instead of waiting until I had $1,200 at the end of the year. However, if someone handed me $1,200 today, I would invest it all now instead of bleeding it over 12 months, even though traditional dollar cost averaging would recommend bleeding it in. And according to Vanguard, the majority of the time, I would see better performance. Vanguard looked at rolling 10-year periods in the stock market from 1926 to 2011 and back-tested the performance of lump sum investing versus dollar cost averaging. In other words, would you do better investing a certain sum of money today or bleeding it in over 12 months? What they found was that regardless of asset allocation, 65 to 67% of the time, you would see stronger returns by putting the money in the market today than trying to smooth things out by leaking it in over time. The reason for this is that the long-term trajectory of the market is up. The more time your money is in the market, the better you do. End quote. And that will do it for today. Have a great day and weekend, and I'll be back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.